Okay, we're going to surprise you and start on time. Actually, we're going to surprise the people that are going to come late and we'll start on time. Because the expectation is that this is Greece and everything runs late. But not in our case. And we want to send a message that all sessions should run on time as well. So give them to come late. And the only thing we need is we have the first session to start and the first speakers to start on time. Okay, my name is Gregory Papanikos. I'm the president of this beautiful association that organizes many events every year in Athens. We have a mission, and our mission is to make Athens a place where people can come from all over the world in small groups and exchange ideas about current and future developments of their district. It's as simple as that. As an idea, it goes back not many years, 2,500 years, in the same place, where Pericles wanted to do the same thing. But he was very busy with his lover, Aspasia. And of course, Aspasia, some people claim, was the reason that you have Parthenon. So you can see what women can do if they are on the side of very powerful men. Anyway, that's what Thucydides actually refers to, that he wants to open up the city and people can come, see and learn, which is very important. So, as I said, we organize very small events every week, parallel events, and we give the opportunity to the people to come and present their work. Usually, our criteria of success, if people are coming from different countries, because that's our idea. And it's one of the criteria, actually, for accepting you. We do love people to come from different countries, and of course, exchange ideas, apart from anything else, how they teach their subject. This is more than important. This is very important, along with how they research their subject. Now, I'll just say a few words, and then Professor Poulos will take over. Just to see our internationality, we have 1,200 members. We're growing from almost 100 different countries. And a lot of people think that we are a Greek association. We are not. 95% of our members, on purpose actually, they come from outside Greece. Actually, we do not allow Greeks to participate. They will destroy, they will create a mess. Very few, most of them will be late. So if I do opening remarks in Greek events, I'll be alone. But I start. When I came from Canada and I started teaching here in the university, I was on time. At 8 o'clock, nobody was there. But I started using the blackboard by myself. So in 15 minutes, I had full, and then there was talking. The first come, nobody was there, and she would talk to me, I'm an economist, so I was talking, and then they were surprised. The next week, everybody was there on time. It's the perception that makes it true. Anyway, we're an association. We call it an institute because some of our members, and it was founded, just to make a footnote, in Toronto, Canada, actually, not in Greece. And the reason was very simple. We want to have a legal entity so people from all over the world can come and writing off expenses. And we call it an institute because it's much easier if you want to get funds from the European Union, for example, if you have an institute and not an association. That was go back 20 years ago when we started this. So there is a reason, a good reason for everything that we do. And of course, that means that is a justified reason. So that's why you are more than welcome to join us and help us. Now, how you can help us? There are many ways. First of all, if this is your first time, wait till tomorrow at the end. And if you like what we are doing, then you can join in. If you don't like, I'm not going to change your mind. It's very difficult, believe me. So, but if you like, of course we can change, but it's very difficult to change our policies because they're going to go slow. But if you like what we're doing, join in, and then I'll tell you what you can do. One thing that you can do is next year, for example, or any year thereafter, you can organize a panel. This is a new thing that we have. And even we have members here that they are coming every year. It's the first time that we are suggesting. So a lot of people, and I'll tell you what is the reaction. This is a policy change. A lot of people, they criticize us that we are doing general, everything you want to say in 15 minutes, as long as you pay your fee, you can come and say it for 15 minutes. I'll explain that later. And a lot of people criticize that it's too general. But we give you the opportunity, if you want, within this general, non-thematic conferences, to organize a theme. We started this year, not for the media, but for other conferences. Mixed results, but very good results. For example, we have a professor, I remember, from the United States, that he's an expert in Japan. So this year, last year, he proposed to organize something about Asian and Japan. It's a great success. Some others are not so successful. But we don't even care. If you do that, then your name appears in the call for papers and we do all the administration. Usually this is good for ambitious people or people that are very old and have nothing to do, and they can promote the conference, not the administration. If they know other people, say, I'll organize this panel. So this is one thing that you can help us. The second thing that, especially if you are old, you can help us. We have introduced a journal. We call it Athens Journal of Media and Communication. We have introduced many journals last year. The reason is because we have too many papers. This year we'll have 2,000 papers. And so we need help in editing. We like to improve. I forgot to say that we are not perfectionists. We leave it for the people that do nothing. We are improving. We try every year to become better. And we added the journal because a lot of people say, since we have so many papers, those that have good papers, they didn't submit it for, usually they're not submitting it for our books or a paper series. So we introduced many journals, including one mass media and communication. But you know how it is. Even though the selection can be 20% of the total papers submitted, still we need to review. And people are very lazy to review papers. And somehow they are right, because they do not count, even though we give some big certificates, that this guy was very good and very nice in helping us with, sometimes it counts, with the reviewing process. But if you are based on a reviewing related promotion, I think it's very difficult in any part of the world. Now, we do have some logistics for this conference. Most people, Professor Poulos will explain. I don't have much more to say. Just a warning for those that they do not speak English very well, and their first language is not English. You see, when we started 20 years ago, we had a problem to choose the language. Some people were saying ancient Greek would be and then when we do a market research, we found out that very few people can understand what we speak. Of course, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to speak modern Greek, and ask me. Now, the other thing is about accent, of course. The best thing in accent is my accent. If you cannot, of course, imitate, you can just try. And this is the reason, actually, that we say the questions at the end, the chairs, because we like to create a friendly environment. And if there are no questions, leave the people to go outside, because a lot of people I know, especially they have some problem with things, they don't want any question to be asked. But they want outside, and we have room outside, so people can be asked, unless you have this internal tendency to show off as a conference participant. Please do not ask too many questions. The same person asks all the questions during a session. We have that. It brings a very negative impression. The chairs do not talk. They keep the time on. Please follow that rule, because who is going to chair the chairs? And do not comment on the papers presented. So they are timekeepers. They sit over there and they keep the time, nothing else, the 15 minutes, and at the end, and they discuss it. This is important as well. I don't think I can say more to say. Professor Poulos has the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nikos. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From me, on behalf of the Athens Institute for Educational Research, Atiner for short, I'd also like to welcome you to this 13th Annual International Conference on Communication and Mass Media. I just want to say a few words about the Institute and repeat perhaps some of the things that Dr. Nikos has also said. Well, this is the rehearsal for the session. Atiner was established in 1995, and its mission is to act as a forum where academics and researchers from all over the world can come together to this historic cradle of democracy in Athens in order to exchange ideas on their research, to interact with each other, and to discuss future developments in the disciplines. And as Dr. Nikos has already said, it's a World Association of Academics and Researchers, and over 95% of our members are from institutions outside Greece, and our conferences are designed in such a way as to cater mainly for foreign academics. Basic activities of Atiner include the organizing and hosting of international conferences, such as this one, as well as symposiums, carrying out of research, and the production of various publications. And since 1995, Atiner has organized more than 300 international conferences and other events, and has published close to 200 books. Atiner has also organized numerous roundtable discussions and public speeches on topical issues. The Institute is also currently involved in an ambitious project regarding the proposed establishment of an academic village. The aim of this project is to establish a community of research scholars and academics, and the proposed village will include a conference center, living facilities, as well as facilities for research and prevention. And you'll find more information on this project in the file. Now let's turn to today's formal activities. You should each have a program by now. And you'll note that in some instances, parallel sessions have been arranged. You'll of course choose which session to go to. Please also note, and this is very important, that each presentation is limited to 15 minutes. The chairpersons will keep time and will use 3 and 1 minute reminder cards. I'd like to ask the chairs to adhere strictly to the time constraints. Please allow for questions and discussion after all the papers have been presented and not after each paper. The chairpersons must also fill out the report forms that they will be receiving. This is important because the final program will be based on the chairperson's reports. Should you need to make use of technical facilities in your presentation, please confirm that everything is in order before the session begins. And there will always be somebody from the admin staff to help you in this regard. And note, of course, that there will also be a coffee break between sessions. Please also consult the social program, which is, I think, red in color. The Greek night tonight is to be recommended. Apart from Greek cuisine, there will be lots of Greek music and dancing. Of course, you'll be invited to join in if you like. Then there's also the urban walk tomorrow, and then follows the cruise to selected islands and the visit to the ancient site of Delphi. Now, on this issue of publications, Dr. Nikos has also made a reference to one or two aspects of publications. The Institute is involved with various publications. Firstly, there are the abstracts which are published. There are some institutes that require abstracts and they regard abstracts as formal publications. And so we have that as one of our publications. They have their own ISBN number and can of course be cited. In this way, the paper contents can be disseminated as quickly as possible and can allow for feedback from researchers in the area of study. Secondly, the papers that are presented are placed on the web as part of an online paper series. And once the editing, of course, of the papers has been attended to, they have their own ISSN number and, of course, also be cited. The purpose of this publication series is to firstly disseminate the information in your paper as quickly as possible, and secondly to allow for feedback in case you wish to make amendments before you submit your paper for publication in the book. And with regard to book publications, you'll receive an email soon after the conference asking you for a final draft for publication consideration and any other information that may be relevant. All papers that are submitted will go through a referee process before they are considered for publication in the book. And then finally, Atiner has its own journal series. As already mentioned, papers submitted for the journals go through a double-blind peer review process, which is monitored by the editorial board. Now, on the issue of collaboration, just a few more words about collaboration. We at Atiner would like to collaborate with other institutions, academics, researchers, and institutes are invited to collaborate with us on research and education projects. And if you're not yet a member of the institute, we'd like you to join and to assist with the reviewing and editing of papers. We also encourage you to collaborate as delegates at future conferences, and once again, as mentioned by Dr. Papanikos, we'd like you to submit proposals for special panel discussions on a theme related to your research. Academics and researchers interested in your theme would then be invited to participate in the special panel discussions. And part of our vision is to organize visiting fellowships, and we hope to introduce this soon. Now finally, dear colleagues, as is clear from the program, we've come from so many different countries. We at Atiner sincerely hope that you'll make the most of this opportunity to interact with each other, that you'll enjoy this conference, and that you'll go back home with fond memories not only of Athens, but of this conference, and most of all that you'll want to come back to future conferences. Thank you very much. I hope you do enjoy all the sessions. We have a little bit of time for the first session. Those of you who are presenting in the first session, can just quickly speak to the chairperson and to the admin staff and get everything ready. Thank you. Thanks once again.